with a lot of things. I had to get everything done for the trip, which the trip was amazing. This weekend was definitely needed. Basically, what it was is it was my bestie's birthday. It was the birthday weekend, and we had planned to do our own book retreat. So we went up to Cambria, which is like the central coast of California. It's basically where Big Little Lies was, but next to Monterey. We were right at the beachfront. We just had a good time of just walking around, enjoying the amazing weather, read our books, played board games, had wine, good food. It just was too short of a time. So, if you guys can, if you have the capacity at all, take the time and space to do something you enjoy, whether it might be reading a book that you've been wanting to do or playing a game that you've been wanting to play for a while now. Designate that time for yourself and do it. Just go for it. Carve out a little time for yourself because you deserve it. No, John, that's not the kind of thing that I was... No! I rebuke this. No headache. Venom, yes. I'm telling you, when music is so therapeutic, like legit, I was so stressed out before all of this, and then all of a sudden, Love Maybe from Business Proposal came up, and I was like, I couldn't help myself. I had to sing. And of course, Bandit. What a goat. So good. Dum dum da da dum dum. Dum dum da da dum dum. Yes, Sneasel, thank you. We'll figure it out. I mean, unless you want to do it right now. Because the whole point of this stream is to do some shiny hunting. Whiplash. Whiplash. So we'll see if we can get a jumbo. Honestly, it's gonna be tough to even get one jumbo shiny that compared to all of them. If I can just get even one before Legends ZA starts, that'd be amazing. All right, yeah, let's do it. Until I can be able to get a mass outbreak, we could do that totally. But I appreciate you guys for being here, and you know, you guys as a community definitely make me want to do better and be better. So I really appreciate you guys being here. So with all the bullshit that just passed, let's go forward for some good times, shall we? Let's do it. I'm excited for ZA, but I can't believe September is practically almost over. One more week of September, and then it's October. What is time? But as you can tell, like I've already decorated the layout with a lovely spoopy decor, thanks to Frank and Faye. If you're not following Frank and Faye at this point, what are you doing with your life? Do it now. That's my bestie. That's my mod. That's my artistic, wonderful human being. No, I will not stop. All right. With that said, let's start this, shall we? Okay. Oh. I just realized the follower goal is not showing up. I think the browser sources are kind of dead. We'll find out. We'll find out, guys. One step at a time. Whiplash. Whiplash. Listen, Pokemon community game will not, the community, there's a wild Ladino in chat if you guys want it, but at least the community game's working. Let's go. Okay, alright. Just save. Nice. Okay, let me connect to the internet. It's been so long since I've done a trade. I'm like trying to remember how it works. I guess we just create our own code, right? Alright, we'll do one. Hold on. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna give you an iron... Yeah. Yeah. There we go. It's been a while. Alright. So, I'm gonna do this. This is the code. Wait, that was wrong. Hold on. I forgot. That's double. It's the only problem with the... So that is gonna be the link code for you, Sneasel. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you. Alright. Oh, is it Madison? Are you Madison? You know what? I'm gonna give you Pink Panther. I'll give you shiny during our Pokemon Pride, and it's sassy. Let's do it. Let's go. Thank you so much. Sneasel, thank you so much. Now I can be able to, yeah, I can be able to, evolve it to a Golden Go. That's right. A shiny one, because I have one shiny one that I was able to do for a Terra raid last year. Luckily. But I wasn't able to get a second one in order to have a living dex. Because I want to eventually do that. But yes, I greatly appreciate that. If anyone else needs anything, especially because I have some, you know, extra shinies. Ron, I still need to give you, I mean, we could do it whenever. I still need to give you a shiny Smoliv, because I have so many Smolivs. You need that special baby. Alright. Now, let's try to find an outbreak for our babies. So far, I've only gotten... I've been getting more Poplio. Like, not the starters I'm looking for. I love Alola, but we're trying to get the ones for Legend ZA. So let's see what we can get today. Woke up looking like this, so don't get into my skin. Oh, sweet baby. Woke up looking like this, so don't get into my skin. Woke up looking like this, Taxis go easy. Tag it up, graffiti, burn up, bacon there, I swear I go. With the shot, no soul, on no supervision. Oh, no superstition. Everything, everywhere, all the time, all around the world. Woke up looking like this, so don't get under my skin. XGALX, and that's the name of the ship. Yeah, I gotta try that. Let's see. I know Totodile is the most, hard one to spawn. I'm very lucky when it comes, like, Chikorita loves me, but, well... I'm gonna try. Oh, there's Sobble. You know, the whole by her see. I'm gonna get act like an onion. Go break my bacon OG. Get even big for the max. I'm gonna try. Aw. Thank you so much, Sneasel. Thank you so much. I eventually want to, because I did look up. Oh, Bulbasaur. I did look up how many, oh my god, I'm getting the ones that I don't need right now. My grass babies. For Clodsire, yeah, it should definitely work. I have like about, I think, oh, well, guess what? Let's go for Tepig. Let's go. We tried Chikorita last time. It didn't happen. Let's go for Tepig because, to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna do a playthrough with Tepig. I love the pig, I just don't like what it turns into. Unless they can make a mega, if they make a mega that, or like if they do a Kalusian version that I like better, I'd rather run it. Why you pretty? Why you me? Why you sexy? Why am I me? This is a really great spot. She's so pretty, so lovely, she got everything. Alright. I'm just waiting for it to stop with the... Well, I think I need to, no. Alright, I need to, yeah. But how is everyone? How was your weekends? I hope it wasn't stinky. I hope, it was what I'm talking about. Like, it was just, especially with how things are right now. Climate-wise, if you know what I mean. Oh god, I forgot that... Oh, I'm glad that you started the share, book. I know, it's great. No! It's because of the freaking new moon, man. I know it. It's not a Gatorade, but it's still shitty. I'm sorry, everyone's dealing with, just, you know, having struggles. I feel you. Migraines are definitely the worst. Sneasel, I don't know if you have like a little foot soak. That would definitely help. If you have any Epsom salts, that helps with headaches and migraines a lot. So if you can, even if you don't have like a foot soak, like just get like a bucket. fill it up with hot, warm water. And do like like at least a 15 or 20 minute soak that helps to relieve it. What do you know? Didn't she watch a garden over the garden wall? Just hell yes, it's that time of year, baby. Hell yeah. As I had mentioned earlier today, so I did get Stardew. I'm gonna Stardew it soon. So I'm excited about that, but also I'm like, oh, one more game that I said just fuck it. Like let's just sim it up, baby. Cause that's what it's all about. I'll have it. I've collected every comfort, cozy game you could possibly imagine. You know, first it was Animal Crossing, then Disney Dreamlight Valley, Sunhaven. You know, like I need to like just I gotta catch them all, right? It took me this long not playing Stardew. It was like it was bound to happen. That downloaded perfectly. Thank you, Steam. But we'll see when I'll actually sit down and play. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get sucked in just like I have with Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Which, the DLC is so fun. I highly recommend it if you've been, like, if you can. It's worth it. The new content is amazing. It's adorable. Basically, you live your magical girl transformation dreams. I did not expect that. I completely forgot about that feature. So, oh yeah, I plan on keeping that save file for sure, but if there's one thing, like, certain games, as much as I love the Switch, it's better to have it on the PC, and I think this is definitely a PC game for me. Did it say that it's going down? Am I losing it? I haven't seen it say that there's not much left yet, because I always pay attention to that. Otherwise, I'm gonna screw up this outbreak. Also, I have to save before Tepig, like, because it has a... I forgot the name of the move, but it's an issue. Oh, was it Roar? Is it Roar? That's concern? I think so. Like, yeah, we don't want that. We gotta save before interacting. But yeah, farming when? When are we gonna farm together, guys? We gotta figure that out. Oh, there it is. Good. Enough. Kiwi, get back! Alright, so... yeah, it's also... I think it was Roar and something else. But either way, like, as long as I save before the interaction, I won't lose them, you know? As much... Alright, there's a Gotharita in chat. Sandwich. So I always have like the calculator at hand. Alright. Alright, got it, got it, got it. Alright. Yeah, I need more spicy. I need to do some herba hunting. Let's do a little parasol. Just so we won't get burnt to a crisp. All right, let's do this. Come on. True. So silly. How are you, Jucifer? I hope you're doing well. How's it going? Trying to find a yellow pig. Oh! Okay, well... God damn this game. It says that it might be Jumbo, but... Hold on. Now I'm worried. I have to actually save? You know what? I have to. I know I just wasted a herba, but... You don't know. I don't want to fail it. Even if it's not Jumbo. Alright, it would absolutely go nutty. But this is not like a normal situation where it's like, oh, you know... It could destroy. Like, I mean, it could run or kill itself. So, hi, Rocker. So cute. What did they do to you, Tepig? Yeah, I think it knows roar. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh, good. Sleep! Let's go, Rocker! Slowly but surely! Your sweet babies. Okay. What ball would be good? I guess, I mean, a repeat ball looks nice. Nah, let's do a luxury ball. Let's go! It was like not even a minute in. The sandwich. This game's ridiculous. This is like not even like boosted odds. Alright. It did look chonky, but I don't know if that was chonky enough. It is not LeChonk standards, clearly. It should honestly the lady that measures the chonkiness of your Pokemon should definitely say it in that way. They missed the opportunity. Machi, boy, but they look at themselves and they love. Alright, let me just clear this out. Oh, why can't I not live on the edge, Pokemon? Come on. Make it. Okay, maybe it was over here. There it is. A lady. Call me super. Can you imagine a chonk challenge LeChonk? You know there is, because there's a tiny. It'll be a teeny. I'm like, how could you be a teeny LeChonk? It defeats the purpose. Fail. A piggy. Then I gotta get it down into you now. Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be difficult from this point on. That was too easy, man. They're like, guess what? Challenge. A lady. Call me super lady. A lady. I'm like so distracted. I don't know why. Oh, ladies. Super ladies. The deerling confused me. Back it up. Hello? Back it up. Everybody say so many piggies. That's the super fans. Yes, yeah, the Superman. Yes, I'm a superpower. Yes, I'm a. Oh, the sun is setting. I mean, I could also do this if I really wanted to. Hold on. Should I try? Oh, that doesn't make a difference? I thought it used to. I guess not anymore. Has that changed? Did they update something that I'm... Usually when you would go to the other biome, it would reset. When was that changed? Me, my strategy, my... Oh, hell yeah, Rocker! Listen! That's one less thing for you to stress out about. Freaking rent. Hell yeah. That definitely causes for a celebration. I hope you treated yourself. I'm gonna say At that point, you're like, well, yeah, I am gonna treat myself to something. Like, I don't have to worry. Well, I mean, to a certain extent, of course. Oh. Bitch, you're my son, gonna be my strategy, and they'll get you. Strategy, is it still showing that? It might take some time for it to, like, I mean, at least for the system to be updated for that. I hope so. Getcha. Yo! I'ma getcha reward and I betcha. Hey, original LeChonks, what's up? Can you call your shiny, brother or sister? Or I would say you're nibbling. Oh my god. Oh, hell yeah. Survive. Oh. Guiding me up. Da-da-da, chan-chan-da-da, again. The final fight. Setting me up, putting me up. We be the barrier. Just Hi, Alex. Makes me fun. I hope you're doing well, Alex. This makes me fun. Oh. Well, I guess this is the place to go. That's where it clears it. Justice makes me live. I didn't see any yellow, so no fail, okay? No fail. Build the barrier. Justice makes me feel. Come on. Justice makes me alive. Let's sit down and order. Dance on me. Oh. You guys are so excited. Oh my god, but you're not chunk enough for me. I need my chunk. Bring chunk. Makes me fun. Justice makes me alive. Literally. I was like, where's Danny? I was like, where is Danny? Her intro song. You know, this would be my curse. Getting it like not even a minute into the sandwich, and then now it's like just mediocre chonks in my face. Ugh, what a time. Oh, there's an Aurorus in chat. Also, like, I've been wearing my watch, my Apple Watch, more often just to keep my activity because I'm trying to be good with my activity steps and everything. And I mean, right now I don't need it because, excuse me, I don't need to be standing, okay, and doing my steps right now. I gotta focus on something clearly important. Shiny hunting, okay? You don't understand, this is a sport. It's a skill. Yes, you did. You did it right. You did it right. You did it right, Ron. Yeah, watch it. Well, I mean, the game recently has been savaged. People have not been. See? Oh my. God fucking damn it. Stop. I hate this. Technology is. I still love technology. Always and forever. Not today, though. Not today. We can sometimes hate the technology, but you know, no, not today. Ever since I uploaded the Valley Girl thing, like I just had it in my head that the Pedro Pascal was, oh my god, what happened? And just like the Californians, I love how it just makes fun of people from, you know, LA proper, as they should. What are you talking about? Just take the 5 to the 5 and into the 110. Why are you going around that time? It's gonna be totally jammed. Oh my god, Mr. Worldwide. Ooh, hell yeah, rocker. Go for it. Oh no, you could be that down to ride. I know the oceans behind you. Listen, Mr. Worldwide knows. Monster X is where it's at. This is just beside you. I don't know what's any night around. There's so many. I'm so overwhelmed with the new spawn rate. Like, it's beautiful, but at the same time, I'm like, it's tripping me out. Like, I feel like it's like a hack. Wait. Is that yellow? No. I swear from far away, it does look like it, though. In between. You're kicking ass, Rocker. That's awesome. Like, honestly, I hope you get it. All the luck, my friend. Can be that down to ride. I'm on the oceans behind you. Look at how many piggies. Oh, that's right. Come to me. No matter where you are tonight, I think I'll stumble beside you. Dale. Shake till it vibrate. No matter where you are tonight, I'm a male and I'm not old, I'm beside you. I know you could be that down to ride. I'll leave the oceans behind you. See the drill with the cosmos. Say the name out for the cosmos. No matter where you are tonight. I know you could be that down to ride. I'll leave the oceans behind you. The cosmos, say the name out for the cosmos. No matter where you are tonight, I'll make the end up beside you. How much time do I have? Okay, we're halfway through the sandwich. And just one. Surely spoiled this the last generation of shiny hunters. I wish I didn't know what it's like. But it's all about the gamble, baby. How dare you not give me multiple shinies? Can you chuck? Sometimes I mess up on that. I feel like it'll... Come on, chonkies. Can you chuck? La 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 la. Can you chuck? Oh, no. I swear, sometimes the nose trips me out. No. Oh god, they're following me. I got my own little piggy cult. Come here. Come here, children. Follow me. Okay, fine. Ugh, children. Can you imagine if I only get this one shiny and it's the one, it's the jumbo? I'll freaking lose it. Be unprecedented. But wait, no, I think that, I mean, I'm trying to remember. I think it did happen to somebody recently. I don't know which streamer. Where that did happen, like on the first try, jumbo. Was it Pay? I don't know. It's a blur. Oh, BB. BB, help me. BB, you will give me, a chonk. I'm sweet like candy. Yeah, look, don't touch. Don't try to get handsy. You get a sugar rush. It's our anthem, baby. Don't touch. Don't try to get handsy. Hey, sugar rush. Hey, got dough. But you never had a bitch who had both. Try to get close, I'll bang, 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 bang. Sweet like lemonade, fluid like butter. Move it up on a sucker. Just but I get cover, bang, 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 bang. Homemade, they don't make them like one taste. I'm not make it go fall in love. I'm sweet like candy. Yeah, look, don't touch. Don't try to get handsy. You get a sugar rush. I'm sweet like candy. Yeah, look, don't touch. You get a sugar rush. Don't try to get handsy. You get a sugar rush. You ain't wish no sweetener. You don't need it up to your teeth. There's not, don't need no man for no dessert. I got popsicles in my freezer. I got 31 flavors, so free samples for of your break force. I am not break, but I am no baker cooker on her worst behavior. homemade. They don't make it like this no more. One taste, and go making up for the love. Yeah, look, don't touch. Don't try to get handsy. You get a sugar rush. I'm sweet like candy. Yeah, look, don't touch. Don't try to get handsy. You get a sugar rush. Come on, babies. Probably just not doing this right. How to get handsy. Yeah, sugar rush. Don't try to get handsy. The sugar rush. Bop after bop, baby. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be okay. 알았어. 내가 너 싫어한 거는 어마어마한 거지. 나지. I love my body. Okay, I love my body. Okay, that's my body. And it's my body. 너 정말 사랑을 잘해? Yo, orange piggies, come on, at least be chonky. I don't see them chonky at all. Like, I'm pretty sure it was a title, aside from title, humongo power. I love my body, again, I don't body. That babe, I feel my body. It is so tiny, so exciting on the tiny. You did that, baby, daddy. I love my body, looking at my body. The day that she my body. It is somebody so excited on the time. You did bother daddy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's my body. Okay, well, can this bodies be chonky, please? Yeah, that's my body. Oh. Oh my god, this song. Oh, I forgot about this one. There's so many of them. So many babies. Bim zim zabalim bim zim zabalibim bim zim zim zabalibim bim zim zabalibim bim zim zabalibim bim zim bim zim zabalibim bim zim zabalibim zim zim bim zim zalabim bim zim zalabim zim zim. If I find a shiny during this song, I'm gonna obviously name it Zim Zala Zim Bim. Best believe if it happens, I am on record gonna name it Zim Zalabim Zim. There's a go-goat in chat. Uh-huh. Yeah. Bim zim zim balabim zim zim zalabim zim 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 zalabim zim zim zalabim zim zim zalabim zim zim. Zimzalabim, zim, zimzalabim, zim, zimzalabim, zim, zim. Zimzalabim, zim, zimzalabim, zim. Oh, no! I don't need you, Graveler. Get out. Ah. Well, I guess they don't like this song. Oh, there's an ad break. I mean, I can't necessarily stop this. I'm sorry about that. I appreciate anyone that sticks around, but it's like the sandwich is gonna end pretty soon. If I do get a shiny, I will stop. Like, I'll just withdraw, you know what I mean? Oh god. I'm ready to get this, ready to get this, ready to get this stage. Gonna chase me or chase me till gonna chi. Or maybe, you don't know, maybe they love Chunga. I mean, I love Chunga too. It's ready to get this. Now this is exactly. Wait. No. It's the lighting. It's the shadows. This is the one thing that I don't love about this game. I wish the lighting didn't affect what you saw. Why are they calling me this late? Like, what is... So, tomorrow I have my, I have my, like, just physical exam. I'm gonna see my primary care doctor just to get everything situated. Like, why are they calling me right now? And I bet you it's an automated call. Like, I don't get this shit. I really don't. It's 7 o'clock. Bro, I don't have time for this. When I want to babe, the new playground. When I want to bother, we're burning up. We need to be heading home. Watch me be loud. Cause I'm ready to get this, ready to get this, ready to... Oh, well. Let me try one more time. I don't have much time. I'm ready to get this, ready to get this, ready to get this phase. I'm ready to get this, ready to get this, ready to get this stage. Nobody, they gonna dance. Got this perfected, so I'm get this. I'm ready to get this, ready to get this, ready to get this stage. It's all wrong, cause like I'm dreaming. Stay right by my side. Well, yeah. I don't think it's happening, guys. Fight our life. Doesn't even like Chunga either. You know what? This is why no one likes you. You're lying, Tepig. Yeah, I said it. I said it. You stay pig forever, but no one wants your evolutions. None of them. I wonder, I'm pretty sure someone is going to do that. Where they're just gonna have Tepig as... I mean... But they would want... They would want the initiative of getting... Like... Any of, like, the exclusive versions. That's also that, too. But I would keep it a Tepig. Well... It's over. It's Jover. Yeah, but they've already given me a reminder. Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, whoa! Why did... Are you kidding me? My hand slipped and that happened? Hold on. Let me actually use this break time to see what is happening. Be right back. All right. Um, it was a reminder, but they literally reminded me on Sunday night as well. So I don't need that many reminders. I don't understand what's happening to their system. They usually give you a reminder at least 48 hours ahead of time. Why are you reminding me again? I don't know. The system lately is really stupid and I hate it. It's like, I mean, they should have just kept things the way they were before. It just makes it more confusing. Like, there's one thing that they have recently is that you can check in like 24 hours prior for your appointment, but that is a separate system from what they have from their computer system. Like, there is no interconnection. It has fucked up so many appointments because of that very reason. So it's like, why is it still a feature? I don't know. Again, technology being a bitch. Well, I guess, hold on, let's just double... I mean, I already saved clearly. But... what's happening to me? I'm not... the fingers are slipping. Mr. Stranger, when I get in the danger, gotta get to know ya. Alright. Yes, I want to know how chonk my Tepig is. Of course not. Well, I mean, at least let's see. Okay, I already saved clearly. I need to be able to... yeah, let's see. Check summary. It's impish. Well, thank you for showing your face, my dear baby. Let's do this. Oh, holding this pain. Da 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 da. No. Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. Sandwich number 2. Let's see. All right. I'm bold in this pain. Maybe it wants to be a magical boy, magical girl. We'll make you magical. Let's go. In a city. Yeah, okay, tidal power. Humongo power. Let's do this. Da, 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 da. Deja vu. Deja vu. Deja vu. Right now. Da, 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 da. the deja vu. I mean, if you're not gonna have deja vu when it comes to shiny hunting, I don't know what else. It just comes with the territory. But also, I love Dreamcatcher so much, and it still kind of makes me sad that they're... I wonder if they will ever do like a... Would they be able to do a reunion? I mean, I know that it's, like, right now it's, God, my brain. What is wrong with me? It's just... empty thoughts. Nothing left. The moment that they do, though, best believe I will want to get tickets to see them. Because, unfortunately, the last time I couldn't make it, it overlapped on previous plans. I would have loved to have gone and seen it with you and Danny, Ron. It would have been amazing. But, I'm definitely going the next time if there is even a chance. Hey, listen, I'll take it. I'll take it. As long as I have, like, it's basically my bucket list stuff to do, you know? I want to be able to have the chance to go to a K-pop concert. That is one thing that I have not done yet. Because as of right now, my plan for going for Worlds is definitely for, you know... Once San Francisco happens, in terms of it, like, being in America, I highly doubt it. Unless, well, if it goes... If I could see it being in Southern America. Like, you know, proper America. Not the United States. But once that's done... Purchase emergency? Oh my god. Listen. Do it. Do it. I'm just here enabling purchases, you know? Because I have no control whatsoever myself. If you guys haven't recently noticed, I have a problem, and it's called wanting too much. It's just, you know, can't help myself. So many babies. Oh my... Okay, sigh. Maybe the chonk is stuck in 2012 and wants... Wait. Well, yeah. Hello. Freaking Gen 5 did already happen. 2010 was black and white. Possibly Tepig just loves Gangnam Style. And there's a Cottony in chat. Good to know. Ooh, and the song reminded you of that? Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I remember, Ron, I remember you mentioning how much you love that smell. So, I understand. I 100% understand. Especially because... Oh, you got an email? Oh my god, that's funny. I just thought the irony, the way it just aligned that way. Listen, I thought it was BB that made it like, oh, wait a second. Hold on. Let me see if it's available. And it's like, oh, it's available. So, you know. Sexy lady. Yo, come on. Really, Tepig? You're not even a fan of Psy? I 100% understand, Ron. I'm literally the impulse buying is just so I can feel something inside. It's like the retail therapy, you know? But I need to have a limit. I just think there's something coming every week. I need to stop. Like, I mean, I know there's stuff that's like, I already made those pre-orders for Arcane, Legend ZA, so I know those will eventually come in. But like, I need to stop with the Pokemon Center stuff. I didn't post it on our Discord, on the Discord, but I did on Twitter, is like saying I got a problem, man. Like I really do. There's just, it was like back-to-back Pokemon Center packages that come to me, and of course, it's all from my favorite carrier, FedEx. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. 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 Come on. Maybe the boost that I need is more Monster X. Little jealousy that I need. Little jealousy that I need. But I'm something. Get jealousy, baby, jealous. Like I have Monster X's like albums like saved on like Spotify and stuff, but like I need to actually have an album. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like actual album. Aw. Thanks, Alex. I mean, we'll see about Chikorita. I know I put in that I want to get Chikorita, but right now Tepig ended up showing up as a mass outbreak, so I'm just trying for that until I can be able to get something. So far, it's been rough. Just one shiny, and it's definitely not Jumbo. But I have not seen one since. Yeah. But I hope you're doing well, Alex. Oh, like a physical album. I want to be able to get more physical albums. I'll figure out in terms of like where I can be able to fit it. You know, I'll figure it out. Oh, of course. Chikorita, you are Jumbo. Legit. I mean, that's the that is the title of the stream, so you best believe I'm gonna be saying that. Yeah, I need. See that I need. Baby jealous hit, baby jealous. The jealous hit, baby jealous. Jealous hit, baby jealous. Jealous hit, baby jealous. Oh, that's not what I meant. I'll sing. When you wish where it's red, who am I about a thread? Till I have been, I'm a man. Yes, I don't want the answer. I'm a place, honestly. Yeah, it's so good. Put him on me. I need to get that shit anymore. Who do you love? Oh. Take it on me. And you see that I want to talk. I got him on me. I didn't get the shot anymore. Who do you love? Me. Out the door. Who do you love? 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 Oh, who do you love? 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 Oh. Good about it, babe. I know how to place. Oh, this is the thing. You know I love the extra goodies. I mean, I will say that it's definitely it's giving me that itch of like getting physical copies that have like different features. Like I love it. So I'm down for like a classic K-pop album. Like physical, if possible. Like, obviously, there's another one that I want to get. If I have to look it up though and see if it's possible and if it's not ridiculously expensive. I want to get Mion's solo album. I basically give up on getting Soyeon's because like that is probably like ridiculous, and I know Court had quite a journey getting what she wanted. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So I might eventually do that. Eventually, you know, you gotta catch them all. Oh my God, show me you're the star, baby. Yeah, Mion's will have decent prices. It's it's the Wendy's, that's gonna be a problem. Oh god! Can't stop! I don't wanna anybody. Anybody. It's so eventually maybe, not right now. I'm slowly but surely paying off the expenses from Worlds. Me to the sky. I have no regrets, but like I'm trying to be responsible. That will be an eventual thing. I'll start off with things that are affordable. Yeah. Oh my god, truly, this pig... I talked shit about this pig and now this pig hates me. I wasn't talking shit about you, I was talking about it when you evolve. I don't like what you become. You deserve a better evolution, my friend. And now you're just like, well, fuck you and your family, and I'll never be chonky again. Oh, hell yeah. Do you like Stray Kids? You're so selective, Tepig. I mean, do you like music? Are you one of those people that don't like music? Are you Sonny Bono? Another thing, I'm glad that freaking Cher outlived that piece of shit. Wake it right. I'm not making fun of chonks. I'm making fun of this non-chonk. They've not been showing up. It's not even a chonk. Oh, screw you and yummy waffles. Look at them. Look at them. They're not even chonky. Like, is it even working? This sandwich? And I haven't gotten one shiny yet since that, well, one I got like the previous sandwich. Wait, is that? No, it's the lighting. Yeah, it's the lighting. Listen, nobody get your egos. Rhythm of the world, 'cause we will make it right. It is just, I love there's that one Thai rogue. We don't want you here. Oh shit. Yeah, I haven't had one in a while either. Just feel the rock, the later rock. Just feel the rock, the later rock. Make it up, rock, rock, rock. Rock and roll, we dance until we fall. Don't stop it, here we go. Rock and roll, we dance until we fall. Don't stop it, here we go. Don't stop it, here we go, here we go. There's a Magby in chat. Truly a hateful pig. Hateful pig. gonna say, oh, feel your attention on me. I mean, the one thing that I am annoyed with is that we had when we were in Cambria. Oh, speaking of, Fee and Ron, we made a little pit stop to the Madonna Inn. I saw the extravagance, gaudiness, and it was just fabulous. I gotta share all the pictures, but like, it was our pit stop coming back. Yeah, but you're gonna get a new boss. I know my mind. Gonna say, oh, feel your attention on me. Bro, come on! This is ridiculous! What the I'm so annoyed right now. Honestly, I probably have a better chance finding my Chikorita and Totodile. You doing this to me, you're getting me angry, piggy! G now, get your back. See, now this is what I'm wondering, because we don't know what else is available. I don't think they're gonna do any more outbreaks, to be honest. Because imagine if they would actually do like a boosted mass outbreak of Legend ZA. I don't know if they will do that. That would be smart marketing, but I don't know if a lot of people will jump for it. I mean, Shiny Hunters will, of course, clearly. Because come this Friday, we're getting the codes for Shiny Miraidon and Koraidon. We're getting our lizard bikes. I have to go to freaking GameStop to do this. Ugh. I wish they didn't do that. I have to go to 2 different GameStops because I have both. I have Scarlet and Violet. But obviously they're just gonna give you one code in one place. We'll see if the person working there is not in a shitty mood. See if I can get 2 codes. If not, then I have 2 options that I just need to. I'm gonna go to the one that has better parking first. I just hope there's not a long line for it. Mess with me, don't mess with me tonight. Mess with me, don't mess. Wait, no, that's not it. I'm telling you, like from far away, because of the nose, it looks like it might be, but it will be obvious compared to the rest. It's not showing up. Take up. Don't mess with me. 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 I'll be there. Don't want nothing. Wait. No. Damn you, orange and yellow. Oh! You are! You stupid! God damn it! You know what? I'm gonna take a chance. I'm pissed. I'm gonna take a chance. That does not look jumbo. It looks tiny. Wasted my time. I'm not gonna save. No, I'm not wasting my herba on this. And if I fail, I fail. I will gladly fail. I'm pissed. Running away from me like that, little pig. Come here. Like this. Let it in. Let her in. Let her in. Got her in. Like that. Are you? Of course you would. Hey, what a pity. Night after night, all the limes, all the tries. There you go. Stay in. 'Cause me in the rain, let me out in the cold with nobody to hold. Alright, so you like XG, and you want to be in rain. You're a fire pig. What are you saying? Damn, man. Okay, this one's emo. In the rain, in the rain, in the rain. You know what? They would be. Away, please say another day. When you make it stop, and then it drop, it drop. I got dancing in the rain, but I'm insane. Like that. Is really you say what a pity. Kelly BB! All the pain, push it all the way because how are you, babe? In the rain, let me out in the cold with nobody to hold me. I see on my side, on my side. Let it rain, what else can I do? I just bumped into a shiny Tepig that is quite emo, wanting to be in the rain. In the rain, in the rain. In the rain, in the rain, in the rain. Bent up, bent up, bent. Oh my god, yes! Ron, of course you would. You were excited for Lechonk. You need a smaller one too. Tired? Yeah, you've been busy, haven't you? You've been a social butterfly. Hey, on my side, on my side, on my side. Let it rain, in the rain. Oh, okay. They said, you know what? Let's go! Musasa, Nukasa, Chile, Chile, Chile. Let's go. Okay, I'll take it. Two of you, baby. Chile, Chile, Chile. Oh my god, Kelly, I give you mad props for that. Sometimes you need to recharge, though we don't have that energy anymore. Chile. Chile. Okay, I'm gonna try and just catch it like this, if possible. Let's go! I'm gonna name this Chili. Hey. Chile, Chile, Chile. I know! Kelly, we haven't had a chance to watch Genu. maybe we have to do that like the holidays, I guess. I'm gonna miss you. We gotta catch up somehow. I don't know. Do you have any availability? Lady, I'm talking about lady. It'll for sure. We'll have a date. Spicy. Chile. Oh, well, I didn't check the sandwich. Hey, it's like chile. Yes. We gotta watch Genu, man, like an actual Genu form. You can like watch it. You can watch Business Proposal on your way there. Just download it and just cry. You know, nothing wrong with some emotional damage. Whoa. Oh, oh. And then a girlfriend. It's a really, really wild day. It's a better than your girlfriend better than a boyfriend. Your girlfriend better than a boyfriend. I don't give a fuck about love, cause we are idle. Fuck about love, cause we are idle. Damn it! All right, so this one is Rain. I'm just gonna name it Emo. Oh wait, no, this one's not Emo's. Okay, this one wasn't Emo. This one was Chili. I got confused. Your boyfriend's better than a boyfriend. My boyfriend's better than a boyfriend. I don't give a fuck about love, cause we are idle. I don't give. Cause we are. This one's emo as fuck. We give a fuck about love, cause we are idle. There's a Lilligant. I know. Oh, first. I'm naming it first because it just showed up in like literally a second. I mean, I could just name it Nanosecond. Yeah, let's do it. I'll name it Nano. Nanosec. O-O-T-T, this my shan. Shut up. There you go. You got... This is the order. Nanosec, emo as fuck, Chili. Let this, let in the back dress. Lotion the bullet. Oxide, lost of the balls with. Automa, got him away. I give him my life. What? gorgeous. I'm Venus. They're faultless. I'm spotless. I'm so priceless. They're flawless. I'm flawless. I'm so gorgeous. They're faultless. Oh? Oh, hell yeah. CL. Oh, really? I need to look it up. Like, I haven't been keeping up on some of the, like, music videos. Yeah. Sometimes the suggested are good, and then some of them are like so random, I'm like, why would I want this? And it gets me so angry. I'm like, why is this? And of course, I immediately say to not suggest that topic or channel or whatever the hell it is. It's like just random ass people that I don't care for. Like the algorithm is like messed up sometimes. No, I actually do feel like having some Korean barbecue right now, let's be real. It sounds so good. Maybe I won't. When the weather is nice, I would want like, maybe a hot pot. It's just, I want the weather to be good. That's what I was saying earlier, was the fact that like, it was so beautiful. Like, the high was like 73 or 74. It's perfect. I come back to like freaking 90-degree weather. I just want it to be cool enough. Like, where I don't have to put on air conditioning. Like, at night, it's cool. I hate when it's like, the shock. Morning is cold. I gotta dress up properly for it. And then it freaking is like blazing hot, so just have to like undress myself. And then it's back to square one yet again. It's like just one hot mess. Just give me weather that makes sense. Please. I miss when we had seasons here. And yes, I'm old enough to know we did have seasons here. That's gonna be my hashtag. I've seen California have seasons. I'm that old. Yeah, even like low 80s. It's like at least the weather is shifting. Let it cool down, please. That's all I want. Chicken. Our princess. Yes, we had rain. We had actual rain, puddles that we would play in. Like, we had weeks where we had rain. We had seasons. Summer was summer, but fall was fallin' and spring was springin'. we still had lovely weather in like the fall where like, yeah, sometimes it would be warm, but it would be just enough where it's not crazy. You would be able to enjoy like, I don't know, if you wanted to like to have like pool time, you could have pool time. But it wasn't ridiculously hot. It was, you still be able to enjoy it. It just drives me nuts. But no, you know? What is climate change? Apparently it doesn't exist. Yep. Yeah, that's what I was worried about when we didn't necessarily have like a hot summer this year. Like it was okay. There was a few days where it was like whoa, calm down. But it was not like I was like, okay, basically our summer is going to be extended. The hottest times is going to be around like, you know, September and then shifting to October, and I'm like, dude, I don't want that. I want a good like compromise, please. But I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh. But do you like Rose and Bruno Mars? Tepig, do you also have a loan to pay off? What gambling have you done? Oh, don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? See tomorrow and tonight go crazy. It's just, I don't know how big Tepig gets, but they all do not seem jumbo to me. Like, I don't know if I'm like my eyes are looking. None of this looks like a good size better. Uh-huh. Oh, don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? Say tomorrow and tonight go crazy. All you gotta do is just meet me at the... Just meet me at the... Hey, it's about no game. Don't get the... Cause I'm gonna get ya. Yeah, they don't feel like actual pork chops. Like, no chops at all. Oh, don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need? Gotta do is just meet me at the... This doesn't look big to me. What is meet me at the... Oh, this one's gonna be named Apatipati. Just meet me at the Apatipati. Just meet me at the... Let's go! My crit catches. Bomb was in my bag. If you wanna stand down, sip it like that. And oh my god, damn! Okay, I show you was in my bag. Rock bomb was in my bag. If you wanna stand down, sip it like that. My mama so and oh my god, damn! Do you like it? My boy said I'm out Oh, just like it. Sichi mochi mochi wari meshi mochi. The kamote biaka, but the body me up, but the hash of the ha. Rumble, don't crumble. They poison and no lolas, no la vol, bumble. Nahala hatada. I love this song. But I also really love the what is it, the choreography music video? Rock bum bums in my back. If you wanna stand dance to be like that. My mama so and oh my god damn. Okay, I show you what's in my back. What? Oh my god, okay. Oh, this one's marked, but it's tiny. That is definitely not a... I'm not a cool lady. Okay, this one's gonna be named, I'm gonna name it My Bag. I'm a princess. I'm you teach me how to say no. Rock them diamonds in my bag. If you want. Oh wait, hold on. We might fail on this one. Let's try it again. Rock diamonds in my bag. If you want to stay. Uh-oh. Come on. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna try it again. I'm just afraid that... Let's go! We're making up for it this time. Sent to the boxes. We'll see what it has later. We'll see what mark it has. Let's be surprised while we check the size. That's another thing. If we do end up finding some really nice personality marks, or even, hell, even the recluse, that would be hilarious. I will still be happy with that. Oh, there's a ninjask in the chat. Days I love this. Oh, we're going to another ad break. You know what? Hold on. How much do I have left in, Okay, we're almost halfway through. No, it's okay. There's no point. I think I'm gonna take a little break, actually. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it here. I'm gonna do like this. And yeah, we might as well take a little break, stretch, get something to eat, your water, hydration, your drink of choice. Take care of yourself in this time, and we'll be back for, you know, more shiny hunting. Hello, hello, my friends. Thank you so much for sticking through that little break. I hope you got all goodies. And let's go back to, hunting this little piggy. We don't want a little piggy, we want chonky piggy. You are not Lechonk, it's okay. But we want chonky Tepig. It's what we deserve. And it's what you deserve. Chop it down the Apanya, 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 Pachanacha, Pachamada the Patica. Apanya, Ajvana Apanya, which in a chop is a mother at the body, Mammichanya. Oh, snap. Also, if you guys got any snackies, what'd you get? I actually did not get anything to eat. I should have done that, but listen, I'll take another break. It's all good. I think I'm gonna make me a sandwich. I got some mortadella, like pesto, some sourdough, you know. It's like, it sounds like everything that I possibly want, and maybe no. Remember, I got that physical tomorrow. Do blood work and shit. I'm not gonna show the things that will be like raise my cholesterol or anything like that. I'd be like, no, and all of a sudden they just like stick me with like medication that I gotta take, and I'm like, dude, I just decided not to eat well before. It's not a smart thing to do. No. Good things. Let's go. I already munched on a lot of, what was it? Basically a good amount of sunflower seeds and chips during the road trip. I mean, it's a perfect pastime activity. So, I highly recommend. It's been a while since I've had like sunflower seeds like that too. It was really nice. I am the prize, yeah. We're on the rise. It's so empty. Bring back my piggies. Yeah, see, like, it's been like that for a while for me, like, cause like, it's funny, cause like, my mom eats a lot of like seeds, not necessarily sunflower seeds. It's a good way for her to digest and also like, you know, curb any like cravings and stuff like that. So like just seeing how she eats it, like it didn't make me crave it. For some reason it felt like I'm like, oh, you know, I don't need it. But it felt so nice. It was delicious. It's a great snack. Gonna keep it on the tippy toes. Gonna keep it on the tippy toes. I feel like I mean, that's what happens. If you end up getting enough shinies or catching them, you're gonna basically, eventually the outbreak is gonna disperse. Yes, do it, babe. Oh, Minnie. Find ya. Oh, find ya. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest. I don't know what the normal size of a Tepig is. Cause like some of them, like you could tell, especially with if you're trying to get like small live or hell, even Chikorita. They're little itty bitties. They're so tiny. But like I haven't seen a nice like big one. Doesn't seem like in terms of comparison, like they all feel small to me. So like the ones that we found, they're like, oh, this is a serious biggin, which I think is like neutral, right? I don't know the exact qualification. I just know that they'll be like, this is the biggest one, and I'm like, that's when you know we got Jumbo. This is the biggest I've ever seen. And that only happened to me once, and it was random. I wasn't even looking for a Jumbo mark. And usually that's how it is, right? That's the case. But it was an Azumarill. I don't know if it was my second or first. I don't know. Because I got 2 shinies. I'm trying to remember if it was the first or the second. Either one, like, the fact of the matter is it was that quick. And it was like, oh, this is a serious biggin. I just randomly decided to check. And I'm like, oh, well. I was like, well, that ain't that special. But I give props to people who like commit and go for it, you know? We'll see. The plan is to at least get 1 Jumbo. I would love for it to be Chikorita. Because my starter is gonna be Chikorita for sure. Though, of course, in the beginning, I won't be able to transfer it. But we'll see. Oh, there's a Minior. This is a beautiful song, by the way. Very chill. Oh. Honestly, well, we got 2. Yeah, we got 2 in the sandwich. Great. We still have a little bit of time. We'll see if we can get a 3rd. Also, I don't know if anyone in chat that doesn't already know this. I have been uploading more content on YouTube, mostly clips from previous streams, even from a while back. I'm just like bringing some oldies but goodies. So if you haven't been following, that would be lovely for you to, you know, take a look and show some support if you can. I would appreciate it. The plan is to eventually at least do like content, like edit some videos. We'll see. We'll see if I get the right amount of content to do that. Like I need to just download VODs and like actually do some editing, but I'm also gonna upload some VODs as well to give a chance, to give a backlog, because you know how Twitch is when it comes to keeping your content nowadays, so at least it'll be there. Aw, thank you, babe. I need to make a command, to be honest. I appreciate that. But yeah, so there has been movement in that area. I'm trying to do at least maybe 1 or 2 clips or videos a week. We'll see how that goes. But I've been enjoying finally doing stuff for YouTube. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I finally bit the bullet and just did it. Feeling lonely, that I was sick, that I like a homie. When you're crying in my room, don't say it down now. I don't want it more. Yes, do it, babe. Honestly, do it. I mean, the the Roscoe one is still one of my favorites, and you edited that beautifully, of course. But it's like, yeah, why not? Because there's been some awesome, like, I feel like it showcases the variety that had on stream, and if that hasn't changed, it's still gonna be just more chances in the future, you know? Why not? Roscoe! It was just so funny. Like, taking forever trying to find him, and then he got angry. Because I kept beating him. Because, like, yeah, that was gonna help, right? Generally, when you hit him with a... Aw. When you hit him with the net, it usually makes him move. Because I tried talking and he wasn't moving. It was just vibing. It was like, just leave me alone. Like, how many times was I gonna talk to him? Sometime. Whack him with garden tools, of course. That's the way when you become besties, you can be able to use the axe. Did you forget about that? It's the prerequisites for being besties on Animal Crossing. Second chance to Cupid. But also, I'm excited for Pokopia. Speaking about other games that we want to get that farming, simming, Minecraft feel. Pokemon just out there like, hey, we're gonna do this. Completely, like, just out of nowhere. And I love it. Yeah, let's go. No, I understand. Yeah. Well, I need to catch up with Pokemon Horizons and Dan to Dan. Has anyone caught up with it? Like, at least I know Dan to Dan is officially... Season 2 is done, right? I mean, we know it's been confirmed Season 3 is happening, but when is it gonna be... Question is, when is it gonna be released? The challengers! Hey buddy, let's go! We are buddy on the annual and then but it all but it ain't that and then the challengers. We all but it ain't that and then the challengers. Together, the challenge, Milaya. Yeah. Oh! I would have almost missed that. Number 3, guys! Oh, another one, and it's marked. Yeah, we're buddy. Okay, that looks pretty chonk. Maybe? I don't know, I could be wrong. Let's go! Let's go, Fee! We're gonna buddy, put on you and then. We're not about challengers. Not about challengers. Challengers. Going up. Let's try for one more, if possible. Yeah. Let's challenge. Fight free. 10 days a week. The way she's moving got me crazy, got me weak. We're gonna loca crazy. You said to the popa, yeah. Oh, she is. Everybody knows it is on you for sure. Every day or more. You're the denim I'm looking for. True to my Barrymore. Good, tell all her friends she is certified freak. 10 days a week. The way she's moving got me crazy, got me weak. She is certified freak. I'm on my knees. The way she's moving got me crazy. Got me like a crazy, freaking on the daily. They're the only reason I'm awake. Hey, baby, we got another shiny. We got 3 in what'd you get? Got the move I'm looking for. Drew to my Barrymore. Gonna tell all the friends. Freak. 10 days a week. The way she's moving got me crazy, got me weak. She is certified freak. I'm on my knees. Oh, way she's moving like a... Alright, so the sandwich finished. Yep. You should... Certified freak. Oh. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Everybody knows you get freaking with it. That don't sound like a Honda Civic. Ooh, hell yeah, that sounds so good. I see your fire. The way you smile. Alright. Get it under, no. This is the one I... yeah. I'm certified freak. Eyes only. Alright, this one's apt. I'm certified. Certified freak. And this one is my bag. Certified freak. I forgot what was the song that was playing for the last one. Is that a time I deserve? I literally just got it. What song was playing? It's honestly the best. It's the most gentle for your stomach too, like in terms of FODMAP. I don't want to do, I guess that's chonk. I'm gonna do this. Welcome to the puppet show. They'll do anything. Let's go. Let's figure this out. Buy a string, buy like it's toys. All right, let's go. Oh, serious biggin? Okay, that's not enough. My bag. What's on a guy? I wanna to please me. Damn it! Not close enough. All right, let's see what, because two of them were marked. Let's see what it is. Maybe play different roles, but maybe taking control. Of course, it's a sociable, freaking socialable. All right, bashful and chonk the sleepy. Okay, they're all common. Play a string and play like your toys. And then enjoy. They'll do anything. Buy a string, yeah. Follow my lead. Just sing the whole thing up to me. Well, that's what I said. Like they will say, "Oh, this is the biggest Pokemon I've seen." And like plastic dolls. So how many we have had so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, we have 6. 6 in. Let's see if we'll do it again. They'll do anything. Basically, what we're gonna do is, if we can be able to stay here until the outbreak. I forgot how many you can be able to do before the outbreak, like, just stops. There's a Glameow in chat. About the opsa. And the papa doesn't happy. I didn't see you actually. Okay. Let's go. Yeah. Let's do it out, boy. So bad I when you don't know it though. Oh! Oh my god, they're gonna take me. Oh yeah. Oh, so sorry, I know. Make me heartbeat a radio. Say dum dum da da dum dum da 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 dum da 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 dum. Somewhere I knows. The dum dum da 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 dum dum da 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 dum da 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 dum. Yeah. My heart. Oh, so far, I don't know. Baby, art, baby, radio. Oh. Dum dum da 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 dum dum da 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 dum da 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 dum. Alien boy, baby, no. Dum dum da 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 dum da 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 dum da 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 dum. So, yeah. I'm just trying to... I don't know. I had a talking point and then I completely forgot. Brain is no longer braining. But let's listen, we got EXO, that's better. Oh na 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 night. Yeah 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 yeah. Love me right. I can't love me right. No 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 no. Let's see. Come on, baby. Come on, Chonksters, unite! Manifesting, come on! Love me right, and love me right. I don't know what's happening. Oh yes, sweet babies. Follow me. Run, run. Oh, they so bouncy. We might get to that point where it might, I don't know. We'll see. Ah! You know, sometimes like you've been playing a game for so long, and then you end up forgetting the controls. I keep doing the wrong things. It's even worse if I were to go to Legends, like not Legends, ZA. I was about to say Legends ZA. Like Legends Arceus, since the controls are completely different from what it is here. I keep making mistakes on that end too, and it's so frustrating. Oh snap. I want the oh my, OMG. I want that right now, no BRB. I want the oh black, big black SUV. I want that. I want that. I want the oh my, OMG. I want that right now, no you and me. C'est la vie. I want that. I want that. Well, look in the battles. What? I want you to fall, hardest of all, until the tears roll down your face, saying my name or nothing at all. I wanted one and everything. I want the oh my, OMG. I want that right now, no BRB. I want that. I want that. London. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something. I don't know if Twitch's algorithm changed or what. I think it did. And I think that's a lot of people have been like talking about it. It's just so weird. Oh well, whatever. It is what it is. Technology. Ain't it a bee? Damn right it is. With the oh my, oh. Well, I don't know what it's necessarily doing when it comes to the to the count. It's completely fucking up the count. Like, even, like, also getting notifications from, Twitch, like, when someone goes live. I have not been getting any of that either. Like, it's been off for me at least. I don't know. Which is really shitty, because a lot of people love to lurk. I mean, on top of it, people need to get stuff done. It's like, so you can't be, like, present, like, all the time. Yep, it's fucking bullshit. Absolutely frustrating, yeah. Cause I was like double checking. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you guys would have told me if I like crashed or something. But no, none of that is happening, luckily, thank God. I figured it out what was causing OBS to crash, so. Of course, until it incurred like the Mama Moo, that's right. But also, yeah, guys, if you are gonna update your OBS, make sure you don't do it like me, like literally an hour before streaming. get that all fine-tuned and figure what all the shit that gets broken, please. Don't be me. Okay. But yeah, because I didn't see any, like, frame drops and, or anything, you know? It didn't tell me anything was off. No, don't you dare. Don't. Keep it as is, especially because since you're only using it for recording, honestly, you don't need all, like, since you are not streaming with it, I think it should be okay. If everything works perfectly as is, do not touch it. But I honestly think the update did mess shit up because, also, the bot never, the Discord bot never updated that it was live either, so I was like, it never even did it delayed. So I need to double check and see if that has been integrated. Maybe I have to like reauthorize it or something. I have no idea. Technology. Yeah, I might have to do a redeem thing. I have to figure that out. I do have the lurk command. I have a lurk command, I have a lurk and a unlurk, so maybe I feel like that still doesn't, it might help, but maybe the channel points will help more. I don't know. I'll try to tweak and add some features and see what helps. Oh, there's a ducklet in chat. I think Tepig is tired. He'll be like, I don't want to be shiny anymore, chonky. Oh my god. I need to stop this Apple Watch. It's more annoying than anything else. I forgot to like mute it. Getting all these notifications and it's getting me distracted. Gotta snooze it. Like, you've been working me extra hard. I'm tired. Listen, I want you to be Jumbo. Let's turn on my summer bay. Dum de dum dum, dum diggy dum dum, dum de dum dum, dum diggy dum dum, dum de dum dum, dum diggy dum dum. Turn on my summer, dum de dum dum, dum diggy dum dum. Dum de dum dum, dum diggy dum dum. Turn on my summer. And then it's an attack. Dream. Dream. On the West Coast, baby, let's go, let's go. Oh, there's a lot of Tepig just randomly show up there. That's not even where the outbreak is. Señorita. Oh yeah, now. On the West Coast, baby, let's go, let's go. For a dream, yeah, for a dream, all I need. On the West Coast, baby, let's go, let's go. Very well, the right I got, but it never come. And you really on the West Coast, baby, let's go, let's go. For a dream, yeah, for a dream. Oh, now it's raining. Oh no. Oh. No, Alolangia, dude. I don't want you. Okay? You are not wanted. Oh, Ron, I don't know if I saw what you said earlier. What did you... Oh, wait, no, you said the toast and the apricot. There you go, there you go. Just tells you I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I will probably, like I said, I need to make that sandwich. I don't know if I have the chance to do it. Another ad break will be coming for sure soon. So maybe when that happens... Oh, are you okay? Tepig? You can't escape, okay? You can't escape this hell. Oh! This one's zealous. Let's go! But that does not look big. This one's zealous. I'm gonna have a pig army. Just wait. This is my curse. Also, do you guys see an option for captions? Because of course my caption plugin got fucked up. And apparently Twitch offers it, but I did it through OBS and I don't know if it works. Okay, cool. Good to know. The thing is, I don't have like the widget that shows what I'm saying. Obviously, it's like it's not gonna be accurate. When are caps 100% accurate? Yeah, they're not. They're clearly not the best. I had the Google one, and that one is pretty accurate. A few, give or take a few words, I would say. I think it's better than this. Dude, you don't have to be difficult to get in the ball either, please. Jesus Christ. Yep, no, fuck that. I'm gonna get the plug-in again. Fuck this shit. That's ridiculous. Of course, when do they actually care about making captions good? Oh, the best thing I've ever said. I'm wasting balls here. Oh, yeah, well, there you go. Oh, it failed? How did it fail? I'm surprised that it didn't scare me? It didn't... Wow. Okay, I'm lucky at this point. Come on. Bro, come on! Okay, I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna take you down. What is going on? Why are you being so difficult? Oh, great. I don't know why it keeps failing. You know what? They have a fighting spirit. This is a tomboy. Yeah, and tomboy. Finally. Yeah, I'll be the tomboy. This is my attitude. Yeah, I'll be the tomboy. That's right. I know what if it is ping pong. I know what if it is TikTok. The friends, I love my friends. I won't change you, what the hell? Me to me to what I was to lose to me. Said it all, shikabura booya lose to me. Yeah, and tomboy. Yeah, I'll be the tomboy. This is my attitude. Yeah, I'll be the tom. That's right. It's very, you get what I mean, tomboy. Just me, idol. Man of a man. Man, you're a man. See the man of a man. Just me, loving tomboy. Ugh, so good. My girls. Our idol, our giddle. Oh! That's not what I meant! God damn it, pig! Not right now! Oh, snap. Oh! Oh, it looked yellow. I was like, damn it. I was like, it loves dessert. No, 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 no. You know what I deserve? Dessert. 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 You know what I deserve? Dessert. Dessert. There. Does anyone want that rat? Talk about a terrifying rat. I mean, if anyone wants to catch it, go for it. No, no, no. You know what I deserve? Dessert. 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 You know what I deserve? Dessert. 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 You know what I deserve? Okay, let me quickly do this. There isn't much time left. Let me just do it. Down on the end. G. Dessert. 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 You know what I deserve? Dessert. Dessert. Well, I tried. Just one shiny in one sandwich. So let's do this. There's gonna be an ad break soon anyway. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it for here now. I'm gonna go and get myself something to eat. We're gonna do a little break, so we'll be right back. Hi guys, thank you so much for being patient. Just took some time to get it all toasted and everything. But I got my grubs. Let's see. I highly doubt this is even a jumbo, but let's check it out. Might as well. I just did like sourdough toast with some cream cheese. I ran out of smoked salmon. I gotta get some. Ugh, of course. Yeah, Lox is so good. You know what? I'm gonna close it. I am rip. Sorry. I don't want to. I'm at the point where like if I don't get something or saving, I'm gonna close it because I don't want to run out of herba. I'm being careful with my herba. All right. Oh my god, there was a Mr. Mime? Aw. Alright. Here we go. Aw, Jane. Listen. She loves it. That's a gin in there. Jane is a Huntrix stan. As she should be. Queen card! Alright, here we go. Did get my bluebird's boot is hot. And star, queen pot on top. I'm twerking on the runway. I I am a queen card. You wanna be the queen card? I'm a queen card. I'm a queen card. I'm a queen card. Take a photo. I'm a queen card. I'm a queen card. I'm a queen card. Whenever chasing girl, Ricardata. These ones feel like chonks. Queen card, you wanna be the queen card. Oh snap. Man, this is taking me back. Remember 2022? What a time. Oh, that I want to. I can know. Down me. Oh, damn it, Graveler, ruining my vibes. Just trying to enjoy the music. Pop, 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 you want it. Pop, 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 the cat you want it. Pop, 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 ah, ah. Pop, 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 ah. Pop, 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 ah, ah. Down to me. I wanna make it pop, pop, pop. You want it, pop, pop, pop. Because you want it. Ah ah, pop, pop, pop. Ah ah, pop, pop, pop. Ah ah. Mm-mm. Down to me. I wanna make it pop, pop, pop. You want it. Oh man. This song makes you ascend. Try to hide, but something broke. I tried to sing, couldn't hit the notes. Couldn't hit, catching in my throat. I tried to say out, but it's suffocating now. But yeah, I can finally breathe. You say you're no good, but you're good for me. I said, hoping to change. I can change. I won't if you're not by my side. What does it feel like anytime I let you in? Oh, babe. If you sleepy, it's okay. You got a dark side, guess you're not the only one. Won't try. Oh. Or is it from Thing? Are you trying to do the Chocobo race? We could be free. Is this because of Chocobo? We can fix it if we never face it. Let the past be the past till it's weightless. Oh, time goes by and I lose perspective. You're talking to me that I know nobody could. Better the posture of his house only on my head. Did you spill vinegar on that? No! Why is it vinegar? What does it feel like anytime I let you in? What does it feel like? I'll give you anything. And if we never face it. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's like a lot. Like all that extra, like I'm just a side quest man. Whoa, so take my last breath. Yeah, it's a chonk. Speaking of a chonk of a game. Oh, you're not the. Oh my god, that's where it comes from? I didn't know. My eyes, it burns. I pass till it's weightless. Oh my god, dude. No! Well, also, I'm not doing a good job of like, avoiding them. All I know is that I don't know, we'll see. I'm down for like another sandwich, and then if we don't get anything, I would probably just call it a night after this. Oh, I mean, it's just the beginning of this sandwich. Ouch, yeah, that definitely burns. Jumbo, babe. We want the biggest chonk. The biggest shiny, the chonkiest pig that is shiny. Because it gives you a jumbo mark. It'll be Tepig the Great. Yeah. There have been people that have done the jumbo marks and they've gotten like the rarest mark instead. That's how crazy it is. But I haven't gotten the rarest mark either, so who knows what will come first, a jumbo or a rare mark? We'll never know. I mean, we'll eventually know, but not right now. Just up in the air. It's only in Scarvi, babe. I mean, we'll be able to. These are the starters that we're gonna be choosing for Legend ZA. But if I transfer it out, like it'll have the mark and everything. Which I found out if it goes in there, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be permanently stuck there. But it's okay. It is what it is. But we'll see what happens. And on top of it, I'm not gonna use it immediately, you know? I won't be able to transfer it to Legends ZA, probably like three months after release. Probably around the DLC, maybe? Who knows? Maybe not. We don't know the full details yet, but I thought it would be nice to try to... What is the Milcery doing here? It's so random. Did they just go from the other side? Milceries don't spawn here. No worries, babe. But, like, I mean, what? Basically 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks of, before we get, Legends ZA. I mean, I'm excited. But let's see what we can get until then. Also, what was I gonna say? For the month of October, though, I want to play some spoopy games. I mean, the one thing that I can think of aside from Phasmo, and I've been, like, marinating it in my brain lately, because it's been a while. And I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I haven't just done it. Play Lara Bow 2. It's an amazing game, but it's a lot involved, and I definitely need a walkthrough at hand, because it's not gonna be easy. Yep, old school, baby. But it's one of the best old school games. I think that's a shiny, is it? No, it's not. God damn it. So, no shiny just yet. Alright, let's do this. Maybe it likes Stray Kids, who knows? But yeah, I was thinking of playing that until, you know, Legends ZA takes over. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. On top of it, I mean, there should be no problem with compatibility because it's gonna use GOG. But we'll find out. We'll figure it out together. I mean, the game is... Was it 1993? No, 1992. ZA is October 16th. It's a Thursday. Lara Bow was released in 1992. What a time. Oh, it'll be not a problem with window capture, to be honest. It'll even display from my just my yeah, it should be no problem at all. It's just I hope there's just no technical issues, if you know what I mean. But GOG will help for sure, because it'll have all the it'll have the audio, like it'll have Scum V and DOSBox orientation, so it'll have everything combined. Oh, DOS. So I don't think it should be a problem. We did do Lara Bow, so, and that's older. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Remember, like, when I was trying to play Techno Babylon? And that's like a newer game. Wajirai. It just did not wanna... It just kept crashing at a specific spot, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a glitch or what. It was frustrating. We basically stopped doing the Let's Play of it. We'll figure it out. Rock and roll, we dance till we fall. Don't stop it, here we go. Like, let's say if it suddenly just starts to die on us and we're like towards the end and like, oh no, you know, like we can find a let's play with no commentary to finish the game. It's a I think that's what we ended up doing also with Grim Fandango, because for some reason that puzzle was not working with me. And we were so close to finishing. I was like, dude, I don't want to deal with this puzzle anymore. But I want everyone to see what the ending, you know, because it's such a good game. So in my veins. I don't think you're ready for the takedown. Let us all the time, yeah, it's a takedown. They deserve to live. It's so. No, I feel like I don't know. I've kind of basically given up on Wolf Among Us 2. Motherfucker, the first game out in 2014. 2014. We've been waiting so long. Take down. It's like it's basically like these dev companies, man. I swear they said that it was in development, but now like there's no word. Ever since that trailer, there's been no word. I don't know. I'm so frustrated. I want more Big B. I want more snow. It's a takedown. And it deserves to live. It's so obvious. I'ma gear up and take it down. You know, Big B would. Big B would take all y'all down. All you pigs. Oh my god. Oh my god, I just got the reference I made. Oh, your best delusion. And it's telling you. Poor Tepigs. Big B is coming, guys. Big B is coming. So you should be shiny. Well, how can you see? Yup. Don't hold it out. They don't hold it out. Time, but you hide. To take down, I'ma take you out and ain't gonna what? To take down, I'ma take you out and ain't gonna stop. Honestly, this song is actually perfect for Big B. Da, 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 da. Of course it's a rumor. Down. Of course it's a rumor. Because there's nothing there's nothing definitive right now. Except for the last trailer, which of course it was amazing. Speaking of howling, okay, all these songs are just it's just literally about Big B right now. God, at this point I want to replay The Wolf Among Us. Maybe this is what I'll do. Once we actually have a definitive date for Wolf Among Us 2, I'll replay Wolf Among Us just to refresh us. It really is. Very dangerous, running with us. That's how we howlin', rowlin', rowlin'. Oh. That's how we howlin', rowlin'. Where are you now? Yeah, where are you, Big B? I don't want to give spoilers because I know how it all ends. I highly recommend reading Fables. Fables is basically what Once Upon a Time wishes it was. There's a lot of adult content, obviously. a lot of sensitive subjects, but the way everything turns out is like Snow White is the baddest fucking bitch. I love her so much. Cinderella, of course, also a baddie, but baddie. Briar Rose, all of the princesses basically queens. That's how we howlin', growlin', howlin'. Oh. That's... It's so good, babe. You could find it online, yeah. I'm pretty sure you could be able to get the entire thing, like, for not... Like, probably for free if you want to. That's how we howlin', growlin', wowlin'. Ow. That's how we howlin', growlin'. Where are you now? You can definitely find it online, but Fables is such a great series. I absolutely love it. Maybe... Didn't we just find out that it was like... It became public domain now, right? Like, the creator, like, I need to look up all the info, but like, I wonder if any of that has effect. I don't think it should affect the development. Understand, I want to fix it. I try to fight it, then it's twisted. I can fight it, and it's all collided. I don't know why I can't trust you to be on your side. Blew into a million pieces, but I can't go back. And I don't see all the beauty in the brokenness. So there's a part of me, the missing harmony. Lose without the lies, this is what it sounds like. Why did I cover up the colors stuck inside my head? The jagged edges meet the light instead. Show me what's underneath. I found your harmony. The phone without it right. This is what it sounds like. I try to let the silence, the voice, defiant. Try to run the quiet. You're not alone. We listen to the demons that let us get between us. Here on our own. So we were cowards. So we were liars. The dreamers, the fighters, I'm riding, I'm tired. I'll be right here by your side. Let's go, come on, Tepigs! We'll do a million pieces and we can't go back. So I'll see all the beauty in the brokenness. Let's go! Come on! Chonky, come here, Chonky! Why did I cover up the color stuck inside her head? The jagged edge meet the light instead. I found your harmony. This is what it sounds like. Come on, Chonk! This is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like. Andre! Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, hello. I'm sorry. I'm dealing with a. Hold on. Let me pause this. No, I didn't. No, that's not what I meant. All right. Welcome in. Thank you. Can I get a shout out for Andre, please? Welcome in, Raiders. Andre is such a wonderful, Wonderful human being. Thank you so much for the raid. If anyone wants to know, Andre is the one that gave me the Labubu. I have a Labubu. And thank you so much for trolling me on that. I truly appreciate it, my friend. I had a great time at Worlds. Also, I mean, I met him at Pokemon Go Innova Tour, so you're gonna have a great time. Andre has made a comeback for streaming, so please give him a follow. He deserves all the good vibes. Amazing person. I don't have anything. Well, hold on. Let's see if it works, because God knows everything broke because of the OBS update. So let's just see if it works, shall we? You didn't do anything. It works. This is my way of having a party when anyone raids in. This is my way of welcoming you guys to see the chaos. But yes, if anyone doesn't know me, my name is Shakar. I am a variety streamer that loves Pokemon, cozy games, chaos. I love to sing a lot. If you like that, then please welcome on in and lurk away. I don't want anyone to... This is a safe space. If you want to just chill and relax in the background and not talk, that's up to you. Thank you. If you do stick around, I appreciate it. Andre, what were you doing? How was stream? How's it going? I had to pause because I don't have much time on this this raid. I mean, that's raid. This sandwich. I'm trying to get a jumbo pig. And so far, no chonk. No chonk has appeared. You were playing Peak? Oh my god, how did it go? How did it go? Like, it looks like it would be intense, and also I feel like I would absolutely fail the entire time, but you know, that's the beauty of it all. It's fun. That's the fun of it. Hell yeah. Listen, you rose to the top, but then you just yeeted. You know what? That's punk rock right there. If that's not punk rock, I don't know what else is. You're like, I did it. I got to the top, and I'll be like, fuck it. This is it. It's over. This is all you're gonna see of me. I don't have it. I do. I want to play like I want to be able to like play with enough. Wait, is that one? Is that you? Are you shiny? No, you're not. The lighting is messing me up. But yeah, no, I don't have it yet. I don't. One day at a time. I mean, hell, I just recently got Stardew Valley. I'm a little late to that party. Quite late to that party, but I just recently got it. So slowly but surely I will catch all the games. Yeah. That's how we do. I'm glad you had a good time though. Hell yeah. I don't think we are. I'll hit you up with the info soon. For sure. I don't think we're even friends on like we are friends on Pogo. Yes, for sure. But I don't know if you have like TCG Pocket or anything else. Like we'll exchange the friend codes and stuff. You don't have to lose your Your buggy? Wait a second. Oh, yeah. No, Steam makes it so much easier, obviously, to get all the games that you want. It's a major. I love it. I've been using Steam like for a very long time. I'm a veteran of Steam. Should give me a badge. Your horn. Okay. That's good. But yeah, I was playing some music earlier. The quiet right now with just the game audio is a little weird. Let me continue. We was at a climax. You can change what you display, your username. But you'll always have your original name. Cause yeah, my original name is so stupid. It's hilarious. But like on display, I've changed it to like my name, Shotgun High. So like you should be able to find me. If not, then we'll exchange all that information, no problem. It just shows like what your mentality was back then, and I'm like, am I serious? That did not age well. It was so stupid. So stupid. Well, I don't think this baby is happening. For 16 years? Listen. I don't know why I'm even doing this. There's only 30 seconds left. On a hope, literally in a hope and a dream that it's gonna show up. Yeah, it's not happening, guys. Oh well. No, is that what Flopsy was mentioning? Oh my god, that's it. It all adds up now. It's like now I know why Flopsy calls you Poopy. Oh my god. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh my god. Well, let's tear the paper trail. Listen, now I know, but I won't call you that because it doesn't feel right. It's not part of my history with you. You know what I mean? But that's hilarious. Thank you guys so much for the. Okay, first of all, thank you so much for the raid. If you need to bounce, I totally understand. But actually, I was thinking of continuing that love, and I know, but still, I could call you former poop if you want, because like that, those days are long gone. That was a different era of you. So I was thinking that we can send the love on over to somebody else. So let's see who we can raid into. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you had a great time. I know I did, even through the frustrations of technology and everything like that. But let's see. Hold on 1 second. Thank you so much for the raid. Yeah, if you want to copy and paste those messages, Shaka Rush, whether you're a follower or a sub. But yes, we will be continuing some cozy times with we're gonna do Animal Crossing on Thursday. So same time, same channel, we'll be here. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. We will be rating Digi. I don't know what they're playing. It looks like oh my god, it's a water park simulator. Oh my god, this looks hilarious. It looks unhinged and I absolutely love it. But we're gonna send that love on to Digi. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Be good to yourselves.